Hey everybody, I'm Jane.
And I'm Sarah.
And you're listening to the Medium Curious Podcast, the show that's putting the me in mediumship.
Me. And the we
and
in
the
mediumship.
we. Aw, we.
We kind of do talk about that in today's episode, what mediumship means to me and we. And we have our guest, Leilani Bush, who is the joyful medium, putting the joy in mediumship too. You want to meet her?
She's so amazing.
You do meet her.
I know her, but let's let everyone else meet her.
Okay.
We're all high from having just talked to her. So without any further ado, y'all, here we go. Let's say hi to Leilani.
So I just wanted to thank you all for having me on here. I love mediumship, and Jane and I have had a couple of conversations about the impact of meeting each other and what it's done in our lives. And so this is like a super like full circle moment. Very cool full circle moment.
Jane sent me, she's like, can we have her on? She sent me your website and I took one look at it for 1 second. I was like, oh, hell yeah. We have to have her on. It was just like, I got this ping, this rush of like, this jolt of like, yes. When I looked at it, it's like,
it's hilarious. I mean, thank you so much, because it wasn't always that way. Like, really, It wasn't. In my soul, I'm an upbeat, happy person. I'm also really super sensitive, as most mediums are.
Yep.
And so in the journey of life, you kind of, at least I did, I'll speak for myself, you just kind of dim your light a little bit to make career path advancements, all that mess that doesn't really even matter. Shout out to those that y'all are still in the struggle.
In the matrix.
Those of you that are like in recovery, I get it. Eating is a hard habit to break.com. So the joy is really in response to liberation and leaving behind all those constraints, like unbridled joy. This is how I was made. Flowers and wiggles and giggles and dance moves and sound effects, which you will probably get some by the end of this call.
Keep going. We want all of them.
But the joy, honestly, is resistance in independence and liberation and spiritual freedom, mental freedom, soul freedom. Like, I'm tired of saying, well, not enough this, you need more of that. That's malarkey.
Yeah.
We were all created with these unique gifts and a brilliant aspect of the divine, who I call the great chocolate sprinkles. So
hold on, wait, back up. Wait, one of the things I loved on your website was that you say it's so spot on, in my opinion. You say, all right, we're gonna meet up with your God squad.
Yes.
Like your guides and your God. And I call them G's and G's, like big G, little G's, like all the G's. And so the fact that you call it the God squad, I was like, that's better. That's so good. Now you just bust out chocolate sprinkles.
It's because, think about it, like, we're all created differently, which we should be. That's like right. All of this creates to this magical tapestry. And when we kind of smush away, or when we actively disempower and devalue others just for being who they are, so long as they don't hurt themselves or anybody else, okay? Right. You're missing the magic of creation. You're missing innovation. You're missing creativity. It's that magical space where everything happens. And so this joy is a celebration of that, all that magical stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Victory arms. Yes. I say victory arms to that. But Leilani, can you tell us about that moment of liberation? Like the moment when you were like, corporate life? So long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. And then you came over.
Look, let me get my therapist on speed dial.
Yeah. We'll pull him in.
Yeah, man. The liberation is really, especially, and we got to take it here if we're going to be honest, right? Which is what we do. We keep it a buck. I went to private school my whole life, which was mostly white folks, and I was the only chip in the cookie. And so you're quickly learning code switching, right? And yes, I was seen as I was. And through my formative years, thank God for my parents who instilled in me a beautiful, powerful identity as an African American woman. And that, oh my gosh, I thank them for that. So that's the seed that was sown of liberation, right? But you acquiesce certain things as you reach for the so-called American dream, which can be an American nightmare, in my opinion. Golden handcuffs, amen. Okay,
seriously,
golden handcuffs. And honestly, it was 2019. I lost my brother unexpectedly. He'd been sick for a while, but we thought he was going to bounce back. And then 2 weeks later, he passed. And he was a very, very successful 2-time Grammy Award winning musician for the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Just love them. And all that they did to bring my brother's music to light. So, but he always said, if I just had a little more time, I would get off the road and I would do music scores or video game scores or just do something different. And he never got that time. And so 3 months after he passed, I gave my notice because I just was like, I had tried every position. I had tried contracting versus full-time employment and different industries. And it wasn't them, it was me. I just wasn't built for it anymore. My values no longer align. And it was terrifying. I mean, nausea. But I was like, I mean, seriously, sleepless nights, talking to my best friend, my husband, like, look, we've saved. I literally, and this is really no lie, I was like, I cannot go back in that conference room one more time.
In that lighting.
It just wasn't who I was. And then that started the exit strategy. The system and structures are set up for really one way of doing things powerfully. And then therein lies the stagnation of creativity, innovation, and just expression. And you guys are artists, so we have to express ourselves. So although it was the most terrifying thing I did, it was deprogramming, unlearning the unwanted aspects of corporate life. And corporate gave me a lot of beautiful things. I do not want to disparage any of the people that I work with, some of who are still my clients. But no, honestly, we take what we want with it and we innovate and do something else. So it was exciting.
Weave it into the tapestry.
Terrifying. But
I mean, I know that Jane was so inspired by you for her to take her leap.
Gonna say that. Yep. That's so fun, Sarah, that you know that Leilani was like my leader. Like, take me to your leader. Because true story. Yeah, for real. So we met in 2019 at Arthur Findlay, aka Hogwarts, the beautiful school of mediumship and psychic sciences, or however they lay it out. But it is Hogwarts. It is a castle. There are like 200 mediums roaming around with wands. Not really with wands, but yeah, it feels amazing. And I saw you across the room and you were like lighting up half the arena. I was like, what is happening? There was light shooting out of that woman's pores. Like, oh, for real. I mean, this is all true. I'm speaking the truth.
I mean, I can see it shooting out of your pores right now too. So it's like,
But then I was like, I'm going to be so awkward because I have to figure out how to get next to her. I want to be near her.
She was so sweet. She was like bobbing over, hey. And I was like, oh, you're so friendly. Aloha. Aloha.
Yeah, she was aloha-ing me. And I was like, aloha. Okay. Because I had just been in Maui earlier in the year having a fantasy about moving to Hawaii one day, which is, of course, ultimately what happened. But
which is what happened.
So this is all your fault. I'm realizing I quit my job. I moved to Hawaii, and it's because of you.
One of my students told me, Crystal, I shout out to Crystal. This healed a lot. I receive as abundantly and as joyfully as I give.
Oh,
and she's like, Leilani, you're always giving, but it's like whenever we try, I'm really putting her on Front Street. Whenever we try and, love on you, you're always like, oh, no, no, no. And I even caught myself just doing it now. It's like, oh, no, no, no. I get humility. And I need to really hear the power and the fullness of what you're saying. That's a missed moment. So I'm learning too, girl. I ain't got that thing figured out.
All right, take two. You are extraordinary, full of light, and it reverberated around the room. And it really, I feel like I could feel the vibe was like higher because you were present. That's what was true for me. One of my very favorite things that happened that week was because you were sitting next to me. And I wonder if that was why. It was almost like you were the battery, because I did a reading for someone and I brought a dog through. It was the first time I ever brought a dog through. And I was like, what is even happening? What is even happening? It was the best reading of the whole week. And you were next to me. And I think that was why. I'm pretty sure that was what happened.
She's so sweet. And okay. My memory of what happened, jaw on the floor, like, oh my God, did she really just bring a fur baby through? Like, and with accuracy. And for me experiencing it, that's the one thing I wanted to really emulate from you. No, I did not know it was your first time. She leaned into it like it's what we're taught. You don't chase it. You blend with the energy. And so it's like being in the zone. If you're a musician, you're soloing and you're just like not even thinking about it. You're flying, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I saw with you. There was a switch where you just leaned in and you just let it go. And I was like, desired state, action 5,000. It's like, ding, ding, ding. That's it. That's it. I could feel it. Feel it. And the beautiful gift that you gave her, she felt so much comfort. Like
that dog was hilarious. He was really cool. He was talking about, this is where you take me, and this is when your partner needs to move in because I'm gone now and there's more room on the bed and all this like really amazing stuff. Yeah. Amazing. So anyway, what a blessed meeting.
For me, the favorite thing about mediumship, I've been doing it for 5 years now. And since it is my life, I'm like, it's really not what I do. It's like who I am. I'm in relationship with spirit every waking breath. The dial isn't on 100 all the time for sure, but it is all to me almost like a spiritual path, a way of existing. It's not what I think. Okay. So I love that through meditation or sitting in the power. I understand there is a fine line, and spiritualists in my class will be like, I'm going to say whatever way you get to the zone is your business. This is one way of getting there. Okay. Yeah. And that's my business. So, but what's really cool is that you can stop, drop, and meditate, and you are going to school. There are new healing techniques that come in that I, didn't ask for. It's like, hey, have you thought of doing this? Or new directions or new understandings about life or nature or meeting new beings in creation. Nothing is ever the same. And it encourages you to grow. Just like traveling broadens the mind. Yeah. This practice exponentially broadens the soul. It's one of the things that Colin, my tutor, said. He was like, the path of a medium can be a difficult one because you're living in two worlds at the same time. I'm going to say multiple experiences at the same time. So I love learning. The clients who come, often, I promise you, whatever they're going through is somehow a reflection or a lesson. There's some message that's going to come through which powerfully applies to my life. And I've seen it happen enough to say, I don't even worry about the schedule because they make it. And I'm meant to share my gifts with whoever needs them at this time, and it will be blessed. And it's just magic. It's like, man, I really needed that message today. Thank you for the assist. And everybody gets blessed. That's what I love about
everybody
it.
gets blessed.
Everybody gets blessed. You get healed from it. You really do.
That's so beautiful the way you're saying that. I always feel like I'm this like fly on the wall and I'm just like stoked. Like, wow, that's whoa, like, whoa, hey, love that, taking notes. But I think you're expressing it way better. Like it's all I'm like a creepy fly and you're like, no.
Yeah, it's really cool. Things I don't like about it. Can we keep it a buck? Okay, can we keep it real?
Yes. You be you. You say all the words you need to say. Do not hold back. That's what I want
to say.
And
we're tracking.
Yes.
The hardest thing about being a medium, I would have to say for me, hands down, is the increasing need for healthier energetic boundaries. Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. Because the way my abilities have expressed themselves at this time, I am like the energetic weather forecast newscaster. So I can powerfully feel and experience, because my first gift is clairsentience, my most powerful gift, clear physical feeling. And so viscerally feeling the struggle of others can really knock you off of your center if you are not grounding and meditating or self-care. Balance is key. And in these times, it's really, really hard. Shout out to all the light workers that are holding the ground, because it's very toxic. And so sometimes that means when that happens, I have to move a little slower. And as much as you can, keep nice, healthy boundaries. You are not immune to the human experience of sharing that suffering or joy. Like that's part of the human jam. That's just part of the jam. And yes, I still argue with them about it. I'm like, y'all, come on now. Really? This is what we're doing today?
Seriously.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, can we do better, please?
Yeah, super
and
hard.
Don't forget, little humans here having a human experience. Like they have high expectations sometimes. I'm like, hold on. I gotta like make food and eat it and digest.
I got my hamburger helper on the stove.
Seriously.
I can't right now.
So you're doing this full time now, and has it been 5 years? So 2019.
Yes, 5
and
years. Yeah.
Tarot was your gateway, your
gateway drug.
Yeah. Like,
Kind
of was, right? Like, tarot is so cool. It really is. I wish I knew more about it. But like I have my cards, all kinds of different oracle cards. And it still to this day blows my mind that when I'm dealing with something and I pull that card and it has a direct message for me for exactly that moment, it just blows my mind. Still.
It's
like
amazing.
How does that work? How is that possible?
Isn't that wonderful? I love that about it. I mean, I think you bring up such a beautiful point, which is, there's something else going on here. Like there's something else at work here. And I want to fuck around and find out what that is.
No, it is fine. It is fine. Oh, I'm gonna have to send you the episode where one of our guests told angels to fuck off for like 2 minutes straight. So we're good, honey. We're like,
And look, I've had them covered because you're like, y'all.
Exactly.
Okay. Listen, okay, we're gonna press pause on that tarot for 1 second because I really want to say this. Arguing with your God squad is real.
Yes.
And I promise I'm gonna come back to the tarot, but there are times when I'm like, I have done everything I've heard. I have stayed the course.
Yeah.
I am, grounded. I'm not and y'all like, what's up? Like, really? Is this what we doing now? As my sister always says, this what we doing now? And I would even be like, I am not moving. This is all y'all. I am not lifting a finger until you fix it. And guess what it always is? Well, that's what we've been waiting for you to do any damn way. You sitting up here trying to do all this. It was hard to do.
Your little Virgo's getting all controlling, trying to fix everything.
Virgo.
And the God's
project manager.
Yep.
We've been waiting for you to tantrum out and finish that.
They're like, yeah, she's got about 5 more minutes. A little bit longer. But and I think that is essential. I mean, some people look at, God or the great big toe is a being, and that's fine. That's your business. I have no problem with that. And because it is consciousness that is everything more than you could possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. But in the construct of the creator being a parent, which can be very hard for a lot of folks, but we'll just keep walking in this. You get mad at your parents.
Yeah.
And you have some questions. Now you will probably not like the answer. And you still gonna have to do what they say to do. So the fact is that we can always go to them and be like, look, I really need some clarity on this, and I really cannot move until I have this. And if that means being still and keep doing the everyday things, which was an important lesson to learn. It's like, do your best, they got the rest, and keep it pushing. And that's what I had to learn. Surrender.
Surrender.
Fight and surrender.
Do your best. Can you say that again? That makes me really happy.
Do the best. Save the rest.
Do your best. And let them do the rest, or let God do the rest. Because that's all, your best is your best.
Yeah.
Best is oh my God. I was like, my best is not this. It's not looking like this person. Who cares? It wasn't meant to look like that person. It's meant to look like what you want to bring forth. Your medicine, your dreams, your skills, talents, and abilities.
Yeah.
Right? That's our medicine.
Yeah.
I love it phrased like that. Medicine. I'm like, I've gone. I'm over here. I'm sitting in the power. Hey, just to offer something I heard from the God Squad, which TM, Leilani Bush, Joyful Medium. I heard that, and it's essentially the same thing. You throw your tantrum, but you do throw it to them in the process of tantruming. And so what they need is the toss to. Yes. They need you to hand it over, and they need, if tantrum or not, whatever, infinitely patient. They laugh at me all the time. They're like, seriously, whenever you're done. And then, but have I said, help me?
Ooh. Yes, girl. Yes. Say it again, honey. Have you? Oh my God. Yes, girl.
And the help me prayer. That's a prayer. It's right in the prayer book.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, again, it's like receiving, learning to receive. Like I would like to receive some help. And often as women, we're like, we wear so many hats that we do it so effortlessly that it is so devalued, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's so true.
oh my God, women are amazing. And we love our men folk too. I'm just saying we need to put some respect on what we do, right? And so I can only speak for myself. I'm like, I'm going to try and tough it out and do it myself. And that's not how it was meant to be. We are flesh and spirit. We co-create this jam. We co-create it, right? I wasn't meant to take 100% of that burden. Okay. And so that's how I'm in it. Flow as best as I can. Flow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That happened to me yesterday, Leilani. You'll appreciate this because you are like 95% Hawaiian human, even though you lived here for 8 years and it just was your truth. And I love you. Yeah. You speak Hawaiian to me and I'm like, uh-huh. And I was in flow yesterday. I was doing that. I was like, what's next? What's next? And I kept meeting up with friends and I kept seeing people I love. And I saw someone that was hard to see. And I was like, okay, there's a lesson. You know, it was just like, la, 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 la. And then I was like, I need to go swim. It was 5 o'clock. It was not swimming time. So I go out there and I just got this hit, like, go right. I'm like, okay, go right. Y'all, I saw a sea turtle who was getting munched on by all the fish, like some kind of cool, like, I'm cleaning your shell. I know. And then I thought, I wonder if, since I can talk to dogs and horses, can I talk to this sea turtle? So I was like, hey, he's like, hey. And I was like,
I love it.
And I was like, I didn't know what to ask it. Like, how's the fish? Like, I didn't know what to say. So then I was like, I go, do you have do you have a partner in this?
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute, girl. Sarah, she is opening a psychic medium dating service. Turtles. So what's your type? Okay, she gotta like mackerel. Okay, I got
you. And I am not surprised.
But wait. So I say this in my mind. I'm like, do you have a partner? And then right that second, y'all, over my shoulder, practically touching me, comes another turtle. Like whoosh, yeah, your face whoosh over, and I was like, "Okay, there's a partner. I see that. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna go." Like I was like,
"That's incredible."
Give you some privacy. Yeah, no, it was nuts cool.
Don't
nuts
you love
cool.
that?
Isn't there something about sea turtles? Isn't that like good fortune, or isn't there something about them? I just recently saw something about sea turtles. Like if you encounter a sea turtle, it means something.
I mean, incredible. And you feel you're like, of course, you know, we're taught here as, you know, you got to stay back. You got to give them space. So then I'm like backpedaling. I don't have flippers. I'm kind of like, okay, guys, y'all cool. And then they're like partying. And I was like, okay, love y'all. See you later. And I swim another 5 feet and another one passes under me. And then swims beyond. And I was like, yeah, triple blessed. I was like, what is even happening?
That's like 3 in a row. You know how I feel about those synchronicities. 3.
But it was.
Oh my God. 3s are creativity, fertility, and expansion and growth. And the Trinity and turtles. For me, turtles are about perseverance and balance and joy and moving like divine alignment for me. Like moving at your own pace in your own way. And like a true wizard, a wizard arrives right on time every time. They are never early or late. And so that's what turtles, they're like, I love turtles. I love turtles.
Well, that was like your day yesterday, Jane. Like you said you were going with the flow, doing what you felt pulled to do.
Yeah.
And then you meet up with your friends, your 3 friends.
And I was holding this really big question in my heart too. And so I love your reading. Of course, I'm like taking notes. I'm like, oh my God, this is a read. Because that's what I needed to hear. I was like, why, you know, how do I fit with this new kind of project? And like the answer was,
Absolutely. Patience, perseverance, creativity. I mean, it's divine timing, Jane. I mean, look at how you architected your life. Like from the time like when we met to now, like I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's kind of crazy all that you dreamed into existence. So if
Aw,
we
thanks
can
for that
like keep
acknowledgement.
dreaming, like let's keep dreaming
Yes.
something better than what we're being force fed out here.
Spooned.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We can do
Yeah,
anything.
and Leilani, I was thinking about your brother and
Mhm.
Sarah. I think there's something magical about the music. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up.
Sarah.
Well, I feel that in my heart. I feel that creativity, that music stuff, and
Mm,
I feel it right here.
mhm.
So,
Yes. Oh, thank you. Are
oh,
you a musician as well?
I am.
You know, musicians are mediums. I mean, that's what Colin used to say. And you're just can you imagine the medicine that you all have to alter frequency, sound, and vibration to affect an outcome, like a mood
Mm,
change? Like there's no
mm.
better alchemy than being an artist. If you really
Yeah.
step back and look at it, it's a very I keep saying magical. It is magical, gifts, blessings. I mean, whatever word you want to use is fine by me. But I think it's such a beautiful medicine that artists have. I mean, you're taking this ethereal, whatever energy that you're experiencing, and it intersects with what's going on in your life at that time, and then out, like you give birth to this piece of art that expresses that experience, and it will never happen again in that way. It will
Yeah.
never, like it's
It's
a
being in the moment.
God,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
fantastic, Sarah.
Yeah. Oh.
That is really like that's powerful medicine. And so how do you lean into your gifts to bring that alchemy through?
Oh.
Toss
Ah.
to you.
Oh,
Ah. I don't know.
asking for a friend. So
Well, it's this is more about you, but
oh,
for
she's
my
so cool.
medicine, I don't know. I mean, I just feel into it whenever I can in the ways that I can. I know I was getting ready for a reading this morning, and
Mhm,
I'm not a trained singer,
mhm.
and I was trained for classical music, playing in the orchestra. But
Nice.
as I was sitting in meditation or sitting in the power, I just felt this urge to, it wasn't yell, but it was just like make a clear tone with my voice. And I felt like because I hadn't done readings in a while because I've been on vacation with my kids.
Mhm.
I was like, I need something that's just going to clear out
Yes.
whatever's there. And like this pure tone came out. I was like, exactly
Mhm.
what I needed to do at that moment. And I just felt it just like clear me up from here all the way
Ooh.
down. And
Yes.
then I was feeling different pitches that needed to come out. And so I just went with it, and it just helped. It was all for me. It was my medicine, what I needed at that
I
time.
mean,
So
see,
Beautiful.
that's what I mean. Like you sit in the power and these techniques come through. You didn't ask for it.
yeah.
They knew what you needed and
Yeah.
you surrendered to it, and then out just came what was needed. You didn't question it. You just did it.
Yeah.
And that's the sweet spot of all of this is that knowledge transfer. And like if you ever decide to take on students, like teaching them that, just to lean in and surrender to what is happening, what is unfolding, man, the universe is yours, and
Yeah.
having the
Mm.
courage and the faith to do it. So yay, shout out to my musicians. Shout out to my
Mm.
musicians.
So as a medium, have you gotten in touch with your brother?
Oh, yes. he, Oh, yes. He was the lead. Well, first of all, when we went to Arthur Findlay, everybody and their grandmother were bringing through my brother. Listen, it
Oh.
was at first, I was so happy. And but every time, it wouldn't matter what group we went to. They're like, I have this guy here. And I was like, oh, Lord. And I keep hearing music or something. I was like, yeah, here he comes. And I actually prayed. I was like, now, Kofi, you know I love you being here. Amen. If we want to give some of the other ancestors a shot, we can do that too. But it was nice. It's very comforting. It took me up until this year. I don't want to say I'm embarrassed. It took me up until this year to hear his music. Okay.
Yeah.
He was an
That
artist,
makes
like,
sense.
it's just brilliant. I mean, he played for Lyndon B. Johnson at the age of 6. Right?
Wow.
Playing the flute, this little black kid, like playing for the president and just so many talents and abilities. And his soloing, like jazz was his forte, but he could play everything. And the solos are transcendental. And
Mm.
what was so hard is, my Lord, I'm never going to hear a Kofi solo again. Like, I couldn't reconcile that piece of it. Like, it
Yeah.
was weird.
No, that's
But he
understandable.
began to show up, and it was so funny because his energy is is uniquely him, for sure. And I'm sitting there meditating, and I'm like, "Is that you? What you doing here?" Look. And he appears when it's time for me to take big leaps of faith. It's almost,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's beautiful. P.S. You can set that up if you want. Like, you can set the intention. Hey, y'all, when those big leaps of faith come through, I just would love a little more support, comfort, confidence, like
Mm,
whatever it is
mm,
that you need, insight as
mm.
we move through this, and just receive. I promise you it'll be there. So whenever it's time to take leaps of faith, he shows up and we kind of lock arms, and we physically, in my mind's eye, we like fly. We leap, we fly.
Oh.
And so it just becomes easier. And one of the best things that happened is a new gift where he sends me whole pieces of music that I've never heard before. Like, we
Wow.
were all raised in the arts, like dance, music, theater, all that mess, which is lovely. I love it. But I will hear completed compositions, like full band, everything. And I'm like, I even called my other brother, Oteil, who's a musician. And I was like, dude, I need a program that like just downloads from my brain what I'm hearing. It's a finished piece of music. And he's like, if there's ever a way we can figure out how to put those parts
How to get
down, which we
wow.
can, it will take
Yeah.
some time. He goes, we'll have the music. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna like pray on that. So yeah, beautiful gifts. Things, yeah, isn't that
Oh,
amazing?
that's amazing. I mean, that also is like has me thinking about so many other things I've experienced too. But that's like that's channeled. I mean, you're channeling it straight from your brother,
Absolutely. And I
which is
mean, but
so
that's what
cool.
you do when you write and sing. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful full
Yeah.
circle. And the way was like, you thought you weren't going to hear any more music. And I mean, it could be classical because he wrote everything. And now I don't know that he's still my spiritual DJ, but um I will hear whole pieces of music, and they could be existing songs, and
Uh-huh.
there will be a message in the music. So like
Wow.
songs will play out of the blue, and I'm like, why are we doing that? But now I have learned the messages in the music, and depending on what it is, be cool. So if I hear like reggae, like what they call sound system reggae, which is like the skunkiest, funkiest reggae ever, then that, and I love it, that means there's going to be some BS that pops off. So be cool, stay cool, right? Like, so like, okay, okay, this is the playlist for today. Okay.
So good.
That's brilliant.
That's wild.
You can set it up that way too. Just say, I received
I'm going
messages.
to. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it's so playful. That's what I love about hearing you talk about your process. You got your squad and you've got the chocolate chips and there's like such a playful, joyful, and I think that is a big part of why I was so attracted to your energy and to you and to what you're doing, is because this is what I think mediumship needs. Because it can be a little dusty and a little like whatever. And you know what I'm saying?
No, she did not say dusty and crusty.
And something that you said earlier about it being like new, like learning new things, learning new skills. It may not have been taught to you in a certain way, but knowing and trusting that the newness, the expansion, the growth that you're feeling is the real thing and can be your wisdom and your guidance. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be taught.
It doesn't. I mean, oh my God, can we just sit on that, Sarah? that is the answer. Because to me, it's okay, just serious for 2 seconds. That's what makes it hard for me as a deeply faithful person who doesn't, I'm definitely a do no harm, take no shit person. So as much of a Jedi as I can be, right? But man, not everybody is moving that way. And when you see people doing like cruddy stuff in the name of religion, and here we are, we are messengers from the Most High. That's what mediums are. We're messengers. We go between realms to bring through knowledge and wisdom and advice and healing, and most of all, just unconditional love. Really is what it's meant to be. And so I think that's what the hardest part is like, we all have to honor that we have our unique gifts, our unique personalities, and what has been taught to you for 150, 75 years, whatever, that may resonate with you, but let's create a strong foundation for where people can continue to explore and have their own knowings and their own experiences and their own, wisdom come through, which is meant to be shared with each other. That's how we move society forward. So I really love that, Sarah. That's actually how I teach my students, is like, I'm showing you a way, not the way. And giving you some safe rules of the road so that you can explore with confidence and joy. Like, really, that's the whole point. I can't tell you what your life is going to be. That's why you were born, bro. That's for you to go figure it out. And sometimes I'm like beaming up. But thank you for saying that. That's absolutely the whole point. That's the whole point. Yeah, the dustiness. I think, I think one of the things, I love the way all of us practice mediumship. I say it's evidential, right? Like, we bring through pieces of evidence. And that is not to disparage anyone who is a channeler or who is not using their gifts in quite that way. We would never dismiss it. That medicine is equally valid. For me, because I had such deep issues of trusting myself and my voice, my inner voice, evidential mediumship had to be the way for me.
I feel you on that one.
So Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
totally. 100%.
I needed to know.
Because it gives us the validation that our connection to the divine is legit.
Is legit. Absolute. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was going to crack a 90s joke. Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit.
But no, I know that was cringy. I know. I can just see my
So
son
good.
being like, "Oh
So
God,
good.
why did you do that? Please
So
stop."
We have our teenagers on our shoulders just judging us.
I know it.
They won't even know that.
They don't know that. They love the 90s though, actually. My son is
Oh
really,
my God,
they
my
do.
son is an old man. He is. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, Grandpa, are you?
Totally. He's like, show me the 90s rap. That's the playlist I want. I'm like, okay, dude.
But I think like with mediumship, especially when you're learning in this tradition where it is you looking for evidence, it is absolutely normal. I mean, I don't know how you could escape not being fixated on getting it right. I mean, yes, on one hand, we're there
Yes.
to learn to get it right. We have to practice the skill. And we also have to surrender and acknowledge the importance of messages that come through, even if we can't say their name, which I suck at names, still suck at names. Okay. I can tell you everything they're thinking and breathing and doing, but ask me a name, Jesus, fix it. So I can't. I'm trying. I'm reprogramming. But after we get the facts and figures out the way, like the whole point is the message.
Yeah.
The whole point is the message. Why did you cross the bounds of time and space and dimensions to talk just to me? What do I need to know right now? And I think sometimes that gets lost in the attempt for validation. Get your pieces of information so that you have comfort that you're connecting accurately, that your client has comfort or your friend has comfort that, yeah, who you're speaking to is Aunt Bootsy, and then, but why is Aunt Bootsy here? Okay, that's what I want to know. Come on, Aunt Bootsy, what you got to tell me, girl?
Yeah, like Bootsy on the ground. So, really quick before. So, I'm sorry to say we are starting to run out of time, beautiful women. It is a sad fact, and I don't like it, but I needed to say it out loud. Before we run away, I did want to just point out one other wild synchronicity, which is that you studied with Colin at Arthur Findlay, and you know that Sarah and I still study with Colin to this day on the internet. So what about that?
He was not gonna let you give up on yourself easily, and I love that. You have to really be a great teacher in order to do that. So coming from what I came from, like just complete like cry central, and he was able to really reach and cultivate something in me where I felt like, okay, yeah, I can absolutely do this. And not only can I do it, I love doing it. And I want us to have more mediums.
Yes.
We really are change managers. We are change managers for society. And
like that.
as much as we can lean on those traditions to help heal our planet, heal ourselves, like the way we treat ourselves is the way we treat this planet and treat each other. Like we got to fix that. We've got to fix it. And so that's what my work revolves around. And P.S., I can't wait to get you into Circle. Shameless plug. I can't wait when we can all like do the joyful jam together. So
yes, ma'am. I'll be there. Tell me where to be. And so we'll drop all that information in the show notes. Everyone can find you, Miss Leilani, and experience the joy themselves. But thank you for this time with us. It's been an absolute beyond pleasure. I haven't laughed this hard in so long. Thank you.
I feel like I just want to make out with the screen.
Let's do that.
I mean it, like seriously. We need to have more wiggles and giggles. Wiggles and giggles.
Well, you bring it and then some, and then all that wisdom too. So, with so much gratitude, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Big love. Thank
We
you.
love you.
Mahalo, mahalo nui loa.
Mahalo nui loa.
Bye.
Medium Curious is made possible
By Jane Morgan Editing.
Sarah Rathke made the amazing music.
And Gigi Hawkins, Podcast Consulting.
Our logo was created by Eric Allen.
Kyle Hansen McKee, Photography.
And the dogs under the desk in Hawaii are Kalea and Domino.
And Trixie in California.